Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of TVG Talk. Today we'll be discussing the Sonic presentation that happened last week. Today I'm joined by Lauro Chapa.
Hey guys.
And so Lauro, why don't we jump right into it? So first off, what did you think about the presentation itself? Did you have a chance to check it out?
Yeah, I watched some of the live show. It was good, you know. They celebrated Sonic in some ways, and they showed this new version of Sonic Mania. I think it's called Sonic Mania Plus.
Yeah.
And they talked about how they're gonna release a new physical copy, an actual physical copy, because there was this special edition, but it didn't have a cartridge or disc. It just had the download code for the game.
Right.
And now they're releasing an actual physical copy with new additions of characters and modes and whatnot, and an art book, I think.
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, Sonic Mania had a special edition that included a code, which was kind of silly. But yeah, it's pretty cool to finally see the game get the attention it deserves. It certainly deserves it more than its high-profile younger brother Sonic Forces.
Oh yeah, much more.
And well, I'd like to address a little bit the presentation itself. I'd say that it's a huge step up from previous presentations that Sega has put out for Sonic. They've had some really hard to watch presentations.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, this one was much nicer, much smoother to ride along, and I want to commend them for that, because I'm pretty sure it's not easy to do live broadcasts like that. And yeah, you mentioned the art book, the physical edition. It's actually somewhat tempting to me because they've already announced that the DLC will be paid, which was something that the following days was not entirely concrete.
Yeah.
But now that we know that, we don't know the price, however. But now that we know that, I might be double dipping in the game if the difference is, let's say, I don't know, $10-15, because the art of this game is quite nice, and I would definitely like to check out the art book and a few other things that the game has.
Yeah, and it's not really that expensive for what you're getting. I mean, it's $30, I think, the whole physical copy.
Yeah, if it was a hard book, art book, it would already be worth the $30, basically. So yeah, the fact that we get so many things, I mean, so many things for the price tag, right? I think it's a nice packaging, and I don't know, I've seen a ton of people online actually that are considering double dipping. The only thing is, I'm kind of sad for the people that already bought the special edition, because this is much better than that and it's cheaper. So, but yeah, I mean, the little Sonic statue on the Genesis was also nice, I suppose.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, so let's move on to the. Well, first off, what do you think about the shorts that they announced?
Oh, those are really cool, actually, too, right? It's gonna be like 5-6 shorts on YouTube, I think, with no voice. But the charm of Sonic of that style of Sonic doesn't need a voice at all, and what they showed seemed really promising.
Yeah, it's really promising. The short that comes in the game at the beginning and the one for the endings. They are very cool, very nice. I mean, they could be like, I don't know, at the beginning of a movie, like when you see the short at a Pixar movie or something like that. Something like that. It looks really cute, really cool. And I definitely wanted to see more of that. And now that we're getting it, I'm very happy, very excited.
Yeah.
And I'm not bummed out at all about it being like mute. Sonic being mute, classic Sonic being mute is very refreshing, because especially early days modern Sonic could be a little bit too chatty, and so this one being more I don't know. It's almost like those old animated shorts from the 40s or something like that, where
Yeah.
where they would interact through motions. So yeah, and the animation is great. And did they mention how many episodes there'll be? They didn't, right?
I think they did. I think it was like 6 or 7.
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken.
so it's actually a decent number. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that they'll be targeting time frame, like maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or maybe more?
Yeah, I think like 5-6 minutes. It's going to be the length of each episode.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think that they'll be going too long, but either way, it's more of that great content. So I have no complaints. Well, did they mention if they'll be bundling it with the physical editions, like inside the discs and cartridges?
No, I don't think they will. It's gonna be YouTube only, I think.
Well, it's great that it's free, but it also kind of sucks that you can't have it physically. And I mean, I suffer a little every time companies do this. For example, with the Star Fox short, I still have the Star Fox Zero demo installed on my Wii U, even when I have the game, because it has that short in it. I'm that kind of person, so if they made them available to download or install wherever, I would probably be down for that. So yeah.
Yeah, it would be neat.
And well, we addressed the packaging, the presentation, the shorts. Let's jump into the actual game content.
Yeah.
What do you think about the returning characters, Mighty the Armadillo and what was the squirrel's name?
Ray the Flying Squirrel.
Ray. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what do you think about them?
I don't know what to really think. I mean, I think that they are very old and not a lot of people know about them, and I think that there's definitely more popular Sonic characters that could have been added instead of them, like, I don't know, Amy or Shadow. Yeah, like those two I think are much more popular. I mean, I could list much more Sonic characters, but I think that especially those two. I don't know that if people were really clamoring for their return, or it was just really a meme.
Well,
so I don't know what to think about them.
Well, in the way of Shadow, for example, I will argue that Shadow is more so a modern Sonic character, and this is the classic series. So maybe they wanted to make that distinction. And I will agree that Amy was probably a better option, in my opinion. But at the same time, in the classic series, Amy was not a fast character. Like, she would always be like either walking around or in a car or things like that. She wasn't really a speed character like Sonic or Shadow, like she was later in the Adventure series. So I think that those are the reasons those two characters are not here. And in terms of, I mean, Ray, I see why people would kind of forget about him, because he literally was in just one game, and then the comics and everything, right? But one game. But Mighty, I think that he does have quite a nice legacy when it comes to Sonic's past. He's in about 2 or 3 games, I believe. So, I mean, I definitely think that these two make a lot of sense, because even at their inception they were sort of palette swaps for Sonic. Like, they would play through the same levels as Sonic, but with their own little gimmicks, similar to Knuckles and Tails nowadays. So I think that that's why they picked those two. And well, in general, Sonic Mania is a love letter to Sonic's past. So with those two sort of angles, I can see why they picked them instead of others. And when it comes to the levels, do you think that we'll be seeing new levels?
Maybe like specific for Mighty and Ray, like the Knuckles level and Mirage Saloon or something it's called, I think, where he doesn't fly the tornado and has like a different path and then an actual different boss to him. Maybe they can do that to some levels with Mighty and Ray.
Yeah, I would love if they did that. Like you're saying, even if they don't make new levels in terms of the theme, if they remix the levels to fit their own abilities, I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you think that they'll be doing new levels, like straight up new levels?
Straight up, I don't think so. I mean, they talked about a new mode, I think, so I don't know what that's all about. Like, I don't know if it's a harder mode or something like that.
Well, they mentioned the 4-player mode. Are you talking about that?
Yeah. No, it's called Encore mode.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I remember it now. No, they didn't give any details about that one, right?
Yeah, so I don't know if that's gonna be like extra levels or maybe a different difficulty or something like that. But yeah, if those are not new levels, I don't see them adding new ones.
Yeah, I would think it's a bit of a stretch too, but you know, I had to get that out of the way. And well, we already touched a little bit on the new modes. How do you think that they'll handle 4 players in a Sonic game?
That's weird because, I mean, even for the 2 players, the screen kind of like smooshes a little bit and it looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
I saw a mock-up of a 4-player Sonic Mania doing that, and it looked like all smushed up. So I really don't know how they're gonna handle it.
Like it blurs out completely or something like that.
Yeah. What would be cool if they allowed for local play between multiple switches.
Oh, that would be fantastic. In fact, I think that would be the best way to handle it in the Switch version. But I don't know if they'll do like special content for the Switch version. I mean, they haven't even added a few features that have been added to the Switch since then, like video capture and things like that. Yeah, I imagine it wouldn't be difficult to implement in Sonic Mania. But, you know, they were struggling with the home button at the beginning, so...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, for as much as I love this game, I did have a kind of rough experience, because for whatever reason, every glitch in the game happened to me, like, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like the game, either way. And, so yeah, I think that they will be making a few little new things here and there. I also saw an opinion or a comment that said that they should probably make some of the extra modes available from the start, especially, I don't know, maybe if you buy the DLC or something, like accessing Puyo Puyo and some of the other extras. I don't know, what do you think about that?
I don't know, because those are like unlockables in the game, and it does feel like a reward when you get them. So yeah, I wouldn't know about that. Plus, they're not like super crazy modes that you're gonna play instead of playing the main game, or like just going into Sonic Mania to play those.
Yeah, it would be.
So weird. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, like Puyo Puyo fans would probably just get Puyo Puyo Tetris, right? I mean, instead of booting up Sonic Mania to play Puyo Puyo. Kind of a bizarre concept when you think about it. Yeah, I agree with you. I really don't think so, but little things like that sometimes do happen with expansions or special editions, where we assume that you already had these, so yeah, they're here from the get-go. Don't worry about it. Stuff like that. But I don't know what else. What else do you think that we might be seeing in this update?
Well, they just mentioned like the 4-player mode and the Encore mode, the new characters. I don't know what else could they add.
Yeah, me neither. but you know, I'm very interested because this team seems to be very, very creative and very passionate. I mean, everything that they've done in terms of characters and everything has been quite a realization. Like, hey, old Sonic is still very cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm very, very happy with this announcement because Sonic Mania was a fantastic game, and getting more life out of it is definitely a good thing in my opinion. Okay, so why don't we move on to a presentation that happened earlier today. I'm talking of course about the Nindies showcase that Nintendo released this morning, where they showed actually quite a handful of very interesting Nindies or indies, either in the presentation or right after. So
Right.
Lauro, why don't we start with you? Let's talk about some of your highlights.
Yeah, right. My highlights were like the fighting game Fantasy Strike.
Yeah.
We've already seen it in other consoles, I think, or on Steam or something like that. It's a cool concept of an easier fighting game where inputs are not like super complex, and there's not a lot of mechanics to learn. And so yeah, you just go with your basic fighting game skills and duke it out, and it has a really like cool art style and that.
Yeah, the art style really stuck out to me. It's very, very nice. It's very simplistic. It's actually like one of those things where you see their budget and everything, like taking into consideration, they picked a very good art style. Very nice, very simplistic, very colorful. I really like that. And like you were saying, it's a game that I believe was or is still in early access and is just releasing this summer. So yeah, the Switch is getting yet another fighting game. I'm very excited because, well, as a personal side note, guys, I'm getting finally an arcade stick. So the more fighting games on the Switch, the merrier. And yeah, like you were saying, it's very simplistic also in its gameplay. So yeah, I definitely like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Fantasy Strike, which will be, in my opinion, one of the highlights, or is one of the biggest highlights in this particular presentation. Personally, I think that The Messenger, another indie game that we saw, is a very, very interesting one. I really like the time mechanic. I really liked it. So if you guys didn't see the showcase, The Messenger is about this ninja that has to travel in time. But they made it very funny. Like in the past, he's in 8-bit, and then he travels to the future and is in 16-bit. So it's like a self-reference of the evolution of gaming. And I mean, I don't remember if they mentioned how many years there's supposed to be between those two styles. But yeah, it's very fun. It looks very fun. And actually the art style really reminded me of Shovel Knight. I don't know about you.
Yeah, me too.
Like the level design and the colors and everything that they picked.
Yeah, I thought of it right away.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks really, really cool. And I don't know, I already want to try it out.
Yeah, me too.
What else did we see? What's your next highlight? What's your next highlight?
The next game that interests me a lot was one called Just Shapes and Beats. They described it as this bullet hell
rhythm game
combined with a rhythm game, and it looked really interesting because like you have to maintain certain rhythm while also dodging this sea of bullets, and it seemed really interesting with cool music styles, and they talked about different artists collaborating in the project, and also art style, like just moving with the music, and everything turned out to be a bullet too, and it was really interesting.
Yeah, it looks very interesting. I really like bullet hell games. They are super tough, and I love that. And yeah, this one, I mean, they didn't show a lot of it, but the concept itself is very, very interesting. I think that it opens up for a lot of potential. And yeah, I'm definitely excited I'll definitely be checking it out as well.
Yeah.
Now, another game that was very exciting or very interesting, to say the least. Like, I think that that's the key word with indie games. Like, they are very interesting most of the time.
Yeah, they had good ideas.
Yeah, great ideas, very, very unique. And a very unique idea that I saw was in Pool Panic. Did you see it?
Yeah, that's actually what's going to be my
Oh,
next
really? So, well, we were a bit connected there. So, yeah, Pool Panic looked really, really fun. Really, I don't know, very, very unique. And it's, I don't know, I really want to know how it works. Because in the gameplay that we saw, of course, we saw very little of these games, but yeah. So, what did you think about Pool Panic that you mentioned was your next game?
Yeah, it was really interesting because the game seemed like it focused on story, but also at the same time, it's like all the levels are kind of pool games. Like you have to hit balls and make them fall on holes. So I wonder how that's all gonna work out.
Yeah, I wonder too. I mean, that's the thing. I want to know how levels work. But in terms of the idea and the mechanics, they are very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, well, now I'm kind of leaving my exciting, my higher excitement levels in the presentation.
Yeah.
And I'm more so going into, I'm gonna maybe check them out, see them if they are at the eShop or something like that, like when they release. So my next game is Pod. Did you remember it? Like, it's a side scroller where you're just...
Yeah, I think they pronounce it weird, like Puda or something like that.
Yeah, that's why I kind of... So, yeah, I didn't quite know how to name it at the beginning because of that. But yeah, that one seems very interesting. It seems very artful. And, I mean, it's a side scroller at the end of the day, but it seemed rather interesting in its presentation.
Yeah.
So, well, what other game interested you in the presentation?
Yeah, one that was called Garage, I think. That it was like this top-down shooter, like...
Yeah, the zombie game.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was zombie game. Like, I just remember that they talked about how it's gonna be like very bloody and visceral, and I don't know, it caught me like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're talking about the same game, but now I'm doubting if it was zombies. But either way, yeah, it looks really, really interesting. It reminds me of that, like, I think it was Fallout that had, no, it was not Fallout, it was Far Cry that had a minigame like that. And it immediately reminded me of that, especially with the monsters and, I don't know.
Right.
It looked really fun. I will agree with you. And my next game is Lightfall. Lightfall is yet another side scroller, but this one seems to be very very difficult. Very like it seems to be its thing. From
Yeah, it was the one that they used like some cubes that appeared below you and jumped really far and things like that.
Yeah,
right?
that's the one. And I really like how. I mean. More so, I'm intrigued by how it will work. I also have to say that I really like the art style. It reminds me of Faye, the game that came out a few weeks ago, I believe, or maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
Basically, I really like that art style. I love the colors. I love the designs of the characters. I mean, I don't know if it's actually a bad thing that it looks so similar to Faye, because, you know, kind of stealing the designs or something like that, but at the same time, I really like how it looks, so can't complain much either.
Yeah. Yeah, the next game that I saw that it was interesting was called Bomb Chicken.
Oh, right.
It looked really like funny, like your main character is just a chicken and he places bombs, and it's like this side scroller. I don't know, like indies are kind of side scrolling indies are. I mean, platforming indies are shaping to be one of the strong suits of the Nintendo Switch, and this one looks like a really good addition to it.
Yeah, and I really like the art style, the kind of handcraft, like the the hand-drawn art style. I really like that. It looks really funny in general. So okay, maybe let's mention a few other indies. I didn't know what to make out of West of Loathing. I mean, talk about hand-drawn art style, am I right? I mean, that's the thing. Like indies, I love that they can be this weird, and I love that they can be this exciting and different. But at the same time, you sometimes have to go and say, what is that? I mean, come on. I mean, I'm sure that if it was showcased in the presentation, it's because it's a good game. But talk about weird impression, am I right? Oh well, what other game would you like to address here in of the Indie Showcase?
I mean, I really don't remember that much more. I remember like they showed one called Mark of the Ninja, and they just showed like this ninja right there, but they didn't show actual gameplay.
Yeah, and actually they mentioned that it's a remake, so I don't know the original game.
No, me neither.
I'm kind of ashamed to say. The artwork kind of reminded me to Ninja Gaiden, the original, but you know, maybe I'm seeing things.
So I think that the one that's worth mentioning is one that wasn't really in the showcase, and that is Hyper Light Drifter.
Right.
Finally coming to the Switch.
Yeah, that's actually one of the most famous, or like the biggest success stories in the sphere. So yeah, it's actually, you know, one of the big guys. So seeing it come to Switch is only a good thing. And I wonder why they didn't give it time at the presentation.
Well, maybe they didn't know about it when they made the presentation.
Yeah, like the schedule or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, it's possible. At the same time, if I was the developer, I would run to them and say, guys, I'm doing this. Like, please showcase me.
Yeah, right.
Like that's very good publicity right there. And yeah, I mean, I've played very little of the game. I've actually had more experience with the character playing him in Brawlout. So yeah, I'm very interested. I mean, I think that out of the big indie, I think that now we're seeing the big indie titles in general. Like Shovel Knight is already here. This one is here. The Shinen Media games are already here. So I think that one of the few indies that I would like to see come to the Switch is Guacamelee. Was a very fun game on the Wii U, and I think that a lot of people should give that game a chance. It's a Metroidvania with a Mexican theme for those of you out there who haven't played it. So,
and actually the sequel was announced not long ago, right?
Yeah, that's right. I don't remember its name right now, but I do remember hearing about it. So yeah, I don't know, anything that you would like to say about the Indie Showcase? Or
I think there were really some strong games. I think there were some missing, like people thought that Hollow Knight was going to be announced here. And I think that there's some games out there that they've announced before that we have no information on, and people were kind of expecting those.
Yeah, like.
But overall, I think we got strong games.
Yeah, like we haven't seen anything on Blasphemy or Bloodstained or any of those. So yeah, I don't know what do you say we call this a wrap up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much for listening. Now, I would like to say that if you like these videos, the TVG Talk videos, we also do podcasts on SoundCloud. We're starting to upload those there, so if you're interested, check them out. It's the same content, just without the video, so in case you want to save on data or something like that. So I don't know, I wanted to mention that real quick, and as always we will be releasing more content for you guys, well, I guess that's it for now. This has been Paco Treviño. Today I was joined by Lauro Chapa.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Until next time, bye bye guys.